Man, I hate not having no space on my dang phone. I be going off too. And then it deletes my whole situation. What y'all doing? How y'all doing? What is it, a Monday night? Young Monday night. I be getting community guideline violations and I don't even be doing nothing, y'all. I just get tired of getting picked on. I feel like I'm being picked on. Y'all ever feel like you being picked on? Here we go. Here we go again. Going through the same thing. Here we go again. Alright. God, I'm washed out. Hold up. How's everybody doing tonight? I was spitting game on the gentle parenting cheat code that I just uncovered because one of my children is in the midst of a correction, and I'm restructuring. I'm reprogramming all of my children, and each child is at their various state within the program matrix, whatever. And so because they're at whatever space they're at within the program, I have to figure out how to key in and code. Hold on. Alright. So I have to figure out how to key in code. I figure out what's on my pillow for that particular child, and some of my children are easier than the other ones. And so this particular child got experiencing or expressing something that we've all done. And so in the past, when it came up, because we feel like we have to rah at our kids in order for them to feel like, in order for us to feel like we did something, right? We can't just have a regular conversation with our kid, which ironically, we learn if someone just has a regular conversation with us, but we feel we must duplicate the same errors of the past generation because we don't want to take the time to figure out a new methodology. They deleted my message on this group because I did put advertising in it. Hey. But some lady was talking about gentle parenting. She was like, how are you guys gentle parenting so long? I can only stick my kids in the corner so many times. And I was like, well, that's not gentle parenting, that's passive parenting. Passive parenting is the space between the abuse and actual active parenting. So there's the way that you parented prior to you realizing that the way that you parented it didn't work on you, so it's not going to work your version on your kids. So you wake up from that, and then you really go into an inactive state. They call it gentle parenting or whatever it is. You just stop because you don't know what to do next. And you just start, some of us sooner than others find other methods. It took me a while to find other methods. There were times in my videos, like those of you who are new to the community and you think the noise that happens in the background of my videos is a lot. This easy work compared to how loud it used to be in my home and kids crawling over me and not listening and all these different things. But it took time for us to figure out a methodology that works. And I went through, the criticism of my spouse, like, you said we need to stop doing this and we need to start doing this and it's not working. I was like, yeah, I'm trying. At least I didn't just default to what my parents did. I'm actually trying to figure out a way that I can lovingly guide my children up versus beating them into compliance. And so while you're sitting there criticizing me for trying to do something different. You're not offering any suggestions. And so my road to quote unquote gentle parenting, or reparenting myself, or I'm trying to figure the word out, active parenting, my journey from replicating the master's methodology in my home to inactive, passive parenting, because I didn't know what to do, and trying different things. And then now in the space of active parenting, there's a space. So when she said, I can only stick my kid in the corner so many times, I was like, sis, sticking your kid in the corner is pretty much just saying I could do whatever the heck I want to, and there's just going to be a timeout phase, but then I'm going to go back to doing what I want to. You are not correcting the behavior. It is in the correction of the behavior that now stops the behaviors from happening, right? What is sitting in the corner going to do? Bailey literally, when she used to have to ask permission to do things, before she moved into the maturation space of just telling me what she's doing, you know, and that was before 18, 16, she could tell me, Mom, this is what I'm doing. All right, let me know. You know, so I forgot what I was talking about. But, you know, redirecting these children, passive parenting, putting the kid in the corner, not taking accountability. Bailey literally was like, this is going to be the consequence. This is the fun I'm going to have. Kid, I'm just going to get in trouble. So putting your kid in the corner is only just saying, you know, which is worse, the punishment or the experience? And most kids are going to choose the experience over the punishment. And we know that they are not changing and they are not correcting their behavior because they do it again. And then we wonder why we have adults who don't take accountability, and they think that their version of accountability is going and sitting in the corner and then coming back and doing it again. You guys don't know what accountability is, which what accountability is admitting, yes, I did this. Here's what I learned from this. And now I have evolved from the space of doing it again, or at least doing the work, because we're not perfect. I have a video a while back that I published during a family meeting when I was like, yes, I'm going to stop piping up, but you can't expect me to stop piping up in the moment that I identified that I need to stop piping up. I'm going to pipe up a few more times, and it's okay, but at least I'm aware. And that is accountability. A lot of y'all ain't taking accountability because you are still exhibiting the same behavior. And that is what you're teaching your child by putting them in the corner, by just trying to into submission. You are not teaching your child to take accountability, because if you were, you got to take accountability for feeling like talking to your kid any kind of way in the name of discipline is love. You got to take accountability for thinking you putting your hands on your child at whatever capacity you putting your hands on your child as love. You have to take accountability for yourself, and until you hold yourself accountable for the damage that you are doing, your child ain't ever going to learn how to take accountability. But that wasn't even what I was talking about. My husband's such a hater. He doesn't even know he's a hater. He's getting on my nerves, y'all. And I'm trying to tolerate it. Yeah, I'm to the point of toleration in this dancery. Yeah, that's my man. And so, yeah. Yeah. I just can't even speak on that because it's weird. Everything is weird. I filmed a couple videos where I'm venting, but everything is weird. Anyway, parenting cheat code. Let me get to it. So my daughter got caught doing something that my oldest daughter got caught doing, and I did but never got caught doing. So I'm in the field of awareness now where I'm just like, this is just a rite of passage at this point. So we call her into the room, and me and Bailey, we kikiing. Just inappropriate. When one kid is in the hot seat and the other one is kikiing with the parent, it's never a good look. But anyway, me and Bailey over there kikiing, and Angel sitting there thinking she's in trouble. And I was like, first, let me let you know you're not in trouble. What you are experiencing, I went through this with your sister, and I did it as well. So I'm not going to sit here and point my finger at you like, how dare you? How dare I? Am I holding myself accountable or not? And I hold myself accountable because I'm able to share with my child that I did it too. Do you understand that a lot of things aren't connecting with your kid because they believe you're coming from a space of theory? And I know this because Bailey said to me, Mom, I thought you were just telling stories. I had no idea you really went through that. I was like, yeah. When I tell you don't do certain things, it's because, sis, it's not going to end well. I know. Now, I've always shared with my kids my past and my history. I've never, I am who I am. I'm not ashamed of nothing I've done. Now, I'll tailor it for age groups, but sometimes, I think I'm tailoring it, right? And so my kids know who I am, but even in that, they haven't heard every single story. And even if they have heard the story, if they didn't hear it at a space that they were open to receive the story, they missed the story anyway. And so when you retell it, it's like hearing it for the first time because I'm hearing it from a different perspective than I necessarily had the first time I heard it. Do you understand when people are like, man, you ain't ever said that before? And you're like, I say it all the damn time. No, you didn't say it. It hit different this time because I have evolved to a point where I'm hearing things differently and the same words have different meanings. And that's why you run into those boom, boom, booms with your spouses and your friendships and your parents and your kids and all that stuff when you're having these ascensions because you start communicating differently. You're using the exact same words and you're telling the exact same stories. I have caught 3 times now, but twice now I have caught my husband repeating the exact same thing to me. Exact. Now, it's not verbatim. Y'all who've been around for a while, y'all remember when I found his doppelganger. Exact same barbershop, got on the exact same outfit, everything. I found his doppelganger here on TikTok. I entered into a portal. I don't know what it was, but when I went to that black girl follow train, I went through a portal. I found my husband's doppelganger, and now I just so happen to be dropping videos from July. But when I drop these videos from July, the conversations that we're having in those videos all the way from July are conversations we're having now. And one of them was prompted. The other one just happened because it was the nature of the conversation. But we're having the exact same conversation, and how I know that my husband has ascended is because the conversation is different. The outcome is different. The first time I talked to my husband about, what is the appropriate age for the girls to walk around in their little boy shorts, their, what do they call the boxer briefs? When is it okay for them to wear, their little camisoles and their fitted clothes around the house? They want to express their femininity. What is the age? And he was just like, I don't know, the first time in July. But the second time we had the conversation, he was like 14. I was like, cool, 14. So we're having the exact same conversation, but the outcome is different, which means his perspective has changed, which means he has experienced an evolution, ascension, evolution, same difference, but I'm cognizant of them. So this energy that's coming off of him, he gets really angry during his ascensions. So this anger and this combativeness and us going back and forth, this is just a part of his ascension. And until he wakes up to the fact that he's ascending and now he can get control of these different expressions of his ascension, I'm going to have to deal with these angry outbursts, which is another classroom for me. So it's cool, right? Because now I can continue to do the work to ascend past the version of me that allows knowingly that I'm going to bump up against his expression, but I don't know how not to at this point. That's why his ass gets on my nerves. Gentle parenting. So, sat down with the kid, had the conversation, was like, look, I am you, you are me. I don't need to hide the fact that I've been through this, and it's actually an anchor point for them, because now that they know that you've been through it and you're not actually just judging them, you know, when you're saying, I was reading another post where this chick was like, you know, should she terminate her pregnancy or not? And she was, you know, going back and forth, and she said, I vowed I'd never have one. And I was like, sis, how you gonna say you're never going to have something when you've never been in the position to see if you would have one or not? We form all these ideas for our life based off of never actually having any experience. How do you know you'll never have one? You ain't never been 20-something years old with your whole life ahead of you, and because of 1, 2, maybe who knows how often you are out here unprotected, you know, it caught up to you. If you ain't ready to be a mother, because that is a huge undertaking, if you are not ready to be a mother, do not put yourself in a position to be a mother. Just because society tells you if you do that now, you must carry the guilt. How many of y'all are carrying the guilt of something you really don't feel guilt behind, but you carry the guilt because society says someone who makes this choice must feel guilty? Y'all try to shame me about all my life choices. Get off the internet talking about that kind of stuff. Oh my God, I can't believe you admit that. I can't believe you closeted. I exposed something unknowingly about a person that I know in front of their husband because I just assumed husbands and wives talked about everything. So I was like, yeah, when she and her husband was like, huh? And she was just like, oh, she's just joking. And I picked up. I was like, oh shit, that's a secret, my bad. You know, so I just assumed that husbands and wives were transparent in front of each other. I don't remember what I was talking about. But the parent code, talking to my child, letting her know me too. So I'm not coming from theory, i.e. a place of judgment of self. That's why I went into the termination story, because judgment of self, a person that would do that, ew, I'm not that kind of person, therefore I will never do it. But now you are in the situation. What you gonna do? Now you must go do a poll in one of these groups where you're just like, what do you guys think? Because if you could get enough people to just let you know that it's okay to be who you are today. It's okay to not be the woman you said you would be when you were a child. The woman that some of you guys are living is the woman that you said you would be when you were a fucking infant. Y'all are living the life that you said that you would have when you were playing with Barbie dolls, talking about when I'm a mom, and the pride point of being able to say, I said this was going to happen, manifestation, or maybe you just were so fixated on being right. But isn't that manifestation? Being so fixated on something that you must be right, which means you must manifest it. So yeah, to a degree, all the way, let me admit it. Boom. Y'all manifested that, but what I'm saying is you can't be so bullheaded that what you manifested is something that you are now allowing to be a trauma point for you. You can't be so prideful that you're going to spend however many years you have on this earth raising a child that you didn't want simply because you couldn't stand on your own 2 feet. And not enough people off the internet came and propped you up And she said, I keep a small circle. So she's like, I don't have a lot of people. And then it makes me sad because I literally was hosting sister circles that no one showed up to, which the people who saw my advertisement were probably a lot of lonely Black women who had no one. And it wasn't just for Black women, it was for all women, but a lot of lonely Black women who, for the cost of $55, could have came across someone like me who could teach her how to be her genuine self, and now to begin to attract into her people that she knows she doesn't need a whole bunch of people. I don't need an entire Facebook group to tell me it's okay for me to make a life choice for myself. I don't need a group, a mom group at that, a Black mom group at that, to tell me it's okay to make a decision for themselves. And the majority of those people probably telling her that she needs to go ahead and have that child for XYZ. Half of those people have kids that they don't want, are actively raising children that they don't want. Yes, there are mothers out there who are raising children that they don't want. But they did it because XYZ. So you have to be able to live your life according to your set of rules as soon as possible. That's why you raise your children as soon as possible to live according to their set of rules, which means you must now back up your set of rules in your home. Yes. You've got to will your set of rules and just have them as a form of guidelines. These are just some parameters that we have, some expectations, and these are decent, like these are fair expectations, you know. Don't come in my house. I don't come in my house. Don't fuck in my house. Don't do these things. These are basic. This makes sense, right? So the expectations that you have in your house are just human basic decency. It's not my way or the highway. I saw a video where this lady was talking about, or she was upset that her mom's boyfriend was over the house all the time. And then auntie pulls up and she's like, y'all motherfuckers 40 and 30 years old still living at your mama's house. Got a problem with your mama having a boyfriend. Y'all ridiculous. But I was just like, man. And she said they wasn't helping pay no bills. The key in us living collectively, because that is how we're going to get our generational wealth. We must learn how to live collectively, which means we must heal our family to the degree that we can live kumbaya enough, at least on the same land. We ain't got to be under the same roof. But can we love each other enough and get along enough to live on the same land? That is how we are going to get our wealth, is if we can stick together. My hands are cold. Family getting together, wealth. Oh, so they're living with their mother, not helping their mother pay any of the bills, so they essentially just move back home. But what if they all helped? And now instead of everybody shacking up in mama's house, now we're all coming together to buy a bigger home to accommodate all of us, or we're all coming together to buy land to build homes to accommodate all of us, because collectively you may only be making 20,000, you may only be making 20,000, you may only be making 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, but together we make $100,000. How come we collectively cannot work together to make something pop for us? Because I don't like that mop, I don't like that mop, and I ain't working and she ain't working and da-da-da-da-da. We can't ever get it together to do that. And it starts at home. So, gentle parenting cheat code. Talking to my daughter, letting her know, been there, done that. Got the t-shirt, it ain't worth it. And then at the end of the conversation, I was like, there's no punishment or anything, but I do want you to write a journal entry for me, and here's your journal prompt. I said, based on your definition of what this should be, how come you accepted anything less than what your definition is? And I'm speaking topically. But before you watch any TV, before you leave your room, before you do anything, I want this journal prompt answered. And so she has given me her journal prompt. And I'm reading her journal prompt, and I'm like, okay, this is just a regurgitation of what I said to her, which, okay, she didn't think this way until I talked to her, so, it's cool. But as I read this, I catch a line here and there that's giving me a glimpse into her. And I'm like, okay, so she picked something up. I need to dig deeper into that. This is how you teach your child how to do shadow work, y'all. I need to dig deeper into that. So the next day, you ain't even got to let them know it's coming. The next day, be like, all right, before you turn the TV on, before you go play with your friend, before you go into the basement and do whatever it is, before you go do what it is you think you about to go do, I want you to go write me a page minimum of journal prompt based off of a sentence from their last journal entry. And they're going to go, and then they're going to go and they're going to write, and they're probably going to cheat themselves, but they're going to give themselves something, right? You just got to start opening the gate for them, right? They're going to give you their journal prompt. You're going to read it, which means now you have to actually read what your children bring you. It's going to give you more insight into your child. So if you want to know the inner workings of your child, you are gaining glimpses, especially if you put that intention out into the universe is going to respond. So you put that intentions out there and you read their journal entry, and then you come up with your next journal prompt based on their journal entry so that you can continue to explore them, but they are also exploring themselves. And yes, this may continue for a short term. This may continue for a long term. It goes as long as you choose to, but understand, whatever the duration, you have now taught your child how to self-reflect and how to understand why they exhibit the actions that they exhibit, why they accept less than they feel that they deserve, why they make the choices that they make. And so then, because of that, you will understand a byproduct of that, or you will start receiving a byproduct of that, is that your child stops having so many issues. Because you have now taught your child how to self-reflect, figure out who they are before they make any decisions. I posted a video where I was saying how my daughter's male friend's girlfriend doesn't like my daughter because she's a female. And somebody commented, oh, well, go watch the video and I talk about, why are these girls against girls? And somebody commented, was like, well, yeah, most kids don't think like that. And I was like, yeah, because most parents don't teach their children to think. Everybody thinks that thinking has a certain age. I hope I defy that every time I post a video of my children. There are children in China who literally run a household. Cooking, cleaning, sweeping, everything. There are children in underdeveloped countries who are literally working to support their families. And we want to limit our children here in America and say, most children don't think that way. Most children don't think that way because most adults don't think that way. And most adults don't think that way because they were previously children who never thought that way. Do you understand your own limitations? And every time you think that you're not limited, you are limiting yourself. I'm so freaking smart. I know everything. And because I know everything, that means I don't talk on things I don't know. Do you understand how you know everything? Because the things you don't know about, you shut the fuck up. That's how you know everything. So I know everything, and I know nothing. So that means there's always more. Always. And so if you are sitting here saying that you're not limiting yourself, you're limiting yourself. Because to say that you're not limiting yourself, you're putting a cap on yourself because you're saying that you have reached your maximum. I'm not limiting myself. That literally says you're limiting yourself. Because I'm limitless. I'm going wherever this thing is going until I touch my grave. Now that I know that I can ascend because I can look back and see where I came from in a very short amount of time. And I'm not talking about from childhood for when I first started clocking myself, because I've been clocking myself for a very long time. But I'm talking about the ascensions that have taken place in front of this camera. And now that I know that I'm able to do this and I have it on camera, I literally have my husband having the exact same conversations over and over again. And last night, and it's on camera, Bailey was recording this time. I literally have on camera where my husband walked up to my daughter's door, asked Angel why she was sitting at the door, said whatever he said to her, she said whatever she said, walked away. 5 minutes later, my husband came back and asked her why she was sitting at the door, said the exact same thing to her. She responded. They had the exact same conversation. It was like deja vu, but in real life. Because when he walked up to her and said that, I was just like, I looked at Bailey, I was like, didn't he just ask her why she was sitting there like 5 minutes ago? And Bailey was like, yeah, and I don't know. Dementia keeps popping in my head. His grandmother had dementia, but I mean, he's only 49, so I don't think that. Yes, he has a habit, so yes, that, but could it be something more? We always want to explain things away. Spirit is literally showing up, and no, I'm not accepting this as you showing up for me. I'm very upset with Spirit right now. I'm very pissed off. So I'm not accepting this as showing up for me. I'm going to deliver your raggedy ass messages, but I'm still pissed off because I am not free labor. Anyway, we want to explain these things away instead of seeing them for what they are. That I literally am watching the cycles of life and I have them on video. I don't know if it's a hiccup in the matrix and somehow I'm jumping timelines into the version of me that is having this conversation, or my husband has experienced an ascension. I don't know what it is, but I know that I have captured something on camera. And I know that I've captured something on camera because I found my husband's doppelganger when I first got on here. I'm in something and I don't know what it is. So anyway, with the journal prompt, I believe I made the point. You're teaching your child how to search their soul. And in them searching their soul, you are giving them a lifetime practice of healing themselves. So you are in essence teaching your child to heal themselves. And through that, you're teaching yourself, because this is also how you heal yourself. If you're not aware, you can always pick up my book, What's the Best That Can Happen, available on my website, LonnieLifestyle.com. It's only $14.95. I think it's really worth the investment to heal yourself. I figured out how, and I wrote it in a book. No theory, no guessing. You're watching it happen right in front of you. Have you ever seen this? If you've seen this, then hopefully they wrote a book and you need to go get that book too. But I actually wrote a book and I tell you how. And I also do coaching services, so if you have questions, you could always ask me. And at this point in my juncture, I actually respond to comments. So if you ever have a question, you should ask it. Don't DM me, because that qualifies as coaching. So I'm not going to give you too much in a DM. But just being in my aura, I'm just a natural teacher. I guess it is difficult to turn it off. I don't want to turn it off. If I can help someone, I'm going to help you. how dare I look at someone and be like, I know exactly what's wrong, but I did it. Yep, because I told somebody I was going to do an energy worksheet for them where they were like, I need to work on patience. And I was like, cool, I'll go to higher consciousness. I'll download this worksheet for you so you go do the work, and really work on patience. That is one of the services. It's $66 right now. It's called an energy worksheet where you come to me and say, Lonnie, I want to work on patience. So I was like, okay. So I go to your higher self. I go to higher consciousness, ancestors, whoever it be, and I download a worksheet for you to work through with different actions for you to take based off of what I receive on your behalf. Load a worksheet for you to work through with different actions for you to take based off of what I receive on your behalf. Practice and get some testimonials, because people, they don't want to believe something even though they're literally watching it in front of them. They don't want to believe something or buy into something until everybody else starts buying into it. So now I got to go and beg people to send me a video saying that, yes, it really did help me, because they're so freaking selfish that they'll take from you and not give you anything, a basic video. When I was getting Reiki attuned and the people, I was like, yo, I'm doing distance Reiki. Anybody want some energy work? These people all commented they needed some energy work. So, I was out there. Who knows what I was in my herbalist bag. I'm going to just say that. But I was out there doing some conjuring. And I was like, yeah, all I want is in response is just a video saying, how your experience was. Everybody said they do it. Not one person has done it. So all of these people received healing from me. Healing. And they didn't match the energy exchange with doing what they said they would do in return. Y'all got to understand, Spirit has been on me tough delivering this message that y'all need to pay attention to the imbalanced energy exchanges that you guys are putting out into the world. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, that's almost like, I love the fact that my husband says, I'll see about it. But even that is saying you'll do something and you don't do it. Mommy. Ain't no way around it. Mom, I love myself. Ain't no way around it. If you're going to say you're going to do something, you have to do it. Otherwise, you are putting an energy expectation out there and you aren't matching it. You're creating imbalances. You have to think about how many times in a day are you creating energetic imbalances. That's something for you to decide. Pay attention to yourself. I personally work to try to create energetic imbalances as infrequently as possible. To be perfectly balanced, man, I think it's possible. Don't commit to nothing you don't say you're going to do something simply because it sounds good, simply because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, simply because. Don't commit to something that you're not committed to. And it's okay to be honest. Like, I really appreciate that you brought this opportunity to me, but I'm going to pass on it. And it's not because I'm not interested. I'm just not interested enough to move forward. Yes, that's going to sting the first time you hear that. But as these different things become normal, you have to understand that the way that you speak is going to sting, and it's to receive and to speak is going to sting. It's going to be unfamiliar. But as more of us use this language and we actually speak for ourselves and stand for ourselves and speak in our truth, it becomes more palatable. Do you understand that? Kaden, stop yelling! Do you understand that, everything is weird? I remember when the bomb came out. Ooh, that's the bomb. I remember when that came out. I lived in Denver. I was in middle school. And I had just came back from Detroit City. I just came from Michigan. And I picked up the bomb. I came back to school and I was like, ooh, that's the bomb. And they were like, what, is it gonna blow up? I was like, you don't even know that stuff is hot over there in the East Coast or whatever, I don't know, whatever. It's over there. It ain't in Colorado. And so they did their little joke about the way I speak. And then all of a sudden, everything is the bomb, right? But you were just mocking me for saying the bomb. What? So yes, it's going to sting and seem abnormal when you start saying no, no thank you. I was at this event and this young lady was like, everybody can keep the handouts, and I was like, I wanted to give you these handouts back because I know I'm not going to use them. She's like, no, you can keep them. I was like, no, because I know that I'm going to leave here and never look at these again, and this is a waste of your effort and your energy and a waste of resources that you could use somewhere else. So I'm just going to say, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I will never look at these again, and I would like to return them to you. You know, that's not an example so much so of the energy exchange, but that's an example of I said something that could potentially be uncomfortable for either party, but it needed to be said to make that energy exchange okay. Let me close this door. I'm not going to receive something I have no use of. Why am I going to receive something like that? I'm going to close that. And this could go as deep as it can be, but whatever. But I think I said what I needed to say. I gotta go to the bathroom. But yeah, I'm beefing with my husband. I'm beefing with spirit. I'm pissed off. I'm ready to quit. And I've been ready to quit before. But I've been tired before. I don't know how to move forward. But Spirit got some splaining to do. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. If you're not giving me any guidance, how am I supposed to figure this thing out? And what does guidance look like? I'm so sick of the goddamn Easter eggs. Hi, beautiful. Go with the flow. I'm tired of going with the goddamn flow. I'm tired. I am out here giving my life. This is my life. I don't do shit else but this. I'm either editing videos or raising my kids, which is my content, like intentional in every fucking thing I do. Studying stuff, trying to connect, whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing it. And what I am consciously doing, sorry if this is redundant, this is what I'm pissed about, so sorry if I'm still mad about the same thing. I ain't got no solution, so heck yeah, I'm still mad. I am so mad that I put so much time and energy into this stuff, and I've been stuck at 12,000 followers for months. That does not make sense at all. And then it's across platforms. The entire year on YouTube, I've had 800 something followers. I'm finally up to 890 something. Who said it isn't working though? It ain't working at my pace. It's been over a year. So here's why I'm mad. I'm mad because I got coaching services, I got energy worksheets, I got videos that can go over 1,000 views so I can start getting paid off of social media. I got videos across platforms. I've got merch. I've got books. I've got all these different things that could be yielding some sort of income for me. And it's doing nothing. And it's not like I'm out here on no games. I'm not out here playing. Like, I'm the real fucking deal. If you ever wanted to see a freaking messenger in person, you are looking at a messenger. So I'm not out here playing. But even though I'm in this space, it's like, okay, God, I have put all the duckies in the row. I'm putting all the duckies in the row. Why do I have to go and get a regular job when I have 10 possible streams of income right now? I have 10 fishing poles in the water right now. Not one of those fucking fishing poles can catch a fish. Not one. And I'm doing all this work. I'm going into the pits. You sending me into the pits. I'm out here like risking my life for this stuff, and I can't get a fucking bite. Yeah, I'm mad. You're doing the work and it will pay off. I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it. I'm upset. Because I keep selling myself on, well, now that you're in this new space of ascension, we know that you wasn't really doing nothing before. Like, you wasn't really, like, based on this space of consciousness, awareness that I'm in, I wasn't doing nothing before, y'all. Like, I'm light years ahead of where you two ladies that I'm talking to right now, where y'all got on board, I'm light years away from her. And so, and then it's frustrating. Not frustrating, this one isn't frustration, but this is, I am physically in the exact same space. Physically, nothing has changed. Physical world, shit's worse off than it was when I started. But evolutionary, I've grown so much. So have I truly made any progress? Because it's like, I'm like this. Half of me is up here and the other half is down here, and I'm being pulled in half, and it's just like, how do I make the connection for these to come together? Like, what the fuck is what is it? I'm so fucking frustrated. Let go of the I and let God do it. The job may be the breaking place. I'll receive it. I done tried everything else. I really just want to lay on the floor face down. I surrender. Because I don't know what else to do. I really want to see, always a dreamer. I really want to go into schools, all levels, elementary to college. I really want to go into schools at infancy. Ultimately, I want to be in stadiums of hundreds of thousands of people teaching. I am taking spirituality mainstream. I am one of the pioneers. See, I know who I am, but the fact that I haven't been sustained up until this point, even though knowing I'm one of the pioneers, is like, and then I see all these people who ain't really about that life, but it's just frustrating because, well, it's your type of content, so why do people who do my type of content, like, they out here doing it? What's the difference? What am I missing? Let me know what I'm missing so I can check that box as well. And so I'm gonna go over my cousins tomorrow because I've identified, I actually know a lot of principles. I'm gonna develop a curriculum to go and speak to children in relation to conflict resolution and those types of things. And, start doing that stuff. I don't know, but then it's just like, why? Create something else. I'm pissed. It's okay to be frustrated. Get some rest, most of all. Yeah, I'm gonna get some rest. I'm just tired. Because I'm like doing my year reflection, right? It's December, so I'm looking back at my year, and what's crazy is looking back at this year is like different than looking back at any other year in my life. So much has happened energetically, spiritually, and nothing good has happened physically. My marriage is in shambles. My kids are doing good. My kids are doing great. But, I started out the beginning of the year, my husband being my best friend. And now, we don't even like each other. But I'm making progress. I don't know.
I never said I didn't like you.
I don't like you. You get on my nerves. I didn't say it was your fault. Nobody invited you into my conversation. I'm talking to the people.
Hey, people, how y'all doing?
Yeah, they don't want to talk to you.
They love me.
I didn't say they didn't love you. I said they don't want to talk to you.
I'm shit.
Yeah, in your head. That's all that matters, right? Leave me alone. I don't want to engage with you. You can be here, but leave me alone. So anyway, I'm just reviewing 2023. And I am just really calling in and believing and receiving 2024 is my year. It's my year. Because as purpose-driven life has said, I am doing the work. I am planting the seeds. I have bossed up more in 12 months than I have bossed up in 41 years of life. I have done things that I've never done. I have experienced things I didn't even know existed. I have, overcome so many obstacles. I'm a whole new person. I've changed my life. And so that framework, that foundation got to count for something. So I got to bet on me a little bit longer. I'm still pissed. I'm still upset. But I can't give up on me. I can't anymore. And I keep telling myself as I ascend to a new level that it's just like, okay, well, I've only been putting this amount of energy in since this point. So this is the starting point. This is the starting point. This is the starting point. When is the fucking starting point? When the pressure comes on, that's when it's time to pop off. I've been under pressure, friend. I've been under pressure. I'm tired of being under pressure. I'm ready for the pop off. And they owe me. Y'all, they got me putting food out for my ancestors. I'm feeding spirits, y'all. They got me out here feeding spirits. I'm starting over as well. We got this, sis. That's all I can say. What's the best that can happen? What is the best possible outcome? I don't know, y'all. They getting a hot 6 more months out of me. If I am stuck at 12,000 followers in 6 more months, no more than 299 views per video, worse on other platforms. If I'm still stuck here, I am definitely stopping. I'm sorry. I think a year and a half is long enough to not make progress, right? Because I can understand a little today, a little bit more tomorrow. Like these 4 people viewing my live right now, like that's a high number for me. If I'm still showing up here 6 months from now with the capacity of message that I deliver,
I made a house.
That house is very awesome and it looks sturdy. Good job.
Yeah,
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
I did bought it. It's not dirty. But I did bought it not dirty.
Oh, you need to go clean them off then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take pride in your building. Ain't nobody gonna want to live in no shabby building. Yeah, I got a hot 6 more months left in me. I gave up in the past because I've known my whole life this calling has been on my life. I've known. And I'll try and I'll stop and I'll try and I'll stop and I'll try and I'll stop. And I always think, what if I would have just kept going? But this is the longest that I've kept going, an entire year nonstop. Like, this is a lot. Especially at the capacity that, like, this is a lot. I maintain two TikToks. I maintain a Twitter. I maintain a Facebook. I maintain an Instagram. Is that the toilet? Is it the sink?
Yeah.
Okay. And I maintain a YouTube. So I maintain all of those social media platforms. Plus, I journal all the time. Plus, I get on live and download messages. Plus, I'm constantly downloading messages. And nothing. Why am I doing this again?